Hello, happy Monday. We are back again. Welcome back to my channel. I am JustLatasha. And before we go any further, I wanted to start by sharing some good stuff with you guys that I love. Because in this pandemic, we can't go many places, we can't do many things. So I've been trying to find ways to give to myself thoroughly, fully, gloriously, luxuriously. And one of the things that helps me do that are soft items, incense, candles, perfumes, fragrances to bring you to another place. So I'm just going to share some items that I found that I adore by Dossier. I got 2 cents that I just want to put y'all on to. So first of all, hello. Luxury scents at a fraction of the price. The first one I have is Aquatic Pony. This one, I'm putting it in camera like you can see. This one is my favorite because I like scents that are light, clean, airy. So aquatic peony. I said pony. Aquatic peony. It's something that just smells really good around the house. I don't go many places again because this is COVID. It's a pandemic. So I kind of spray it around the house and just enjoy it. And each perfume comes in this size. This is the full size. Okay. And I'll tell you guys why in just a little bit, but I want to share another fragrance with you, something similar because I like florals and beautiful things. The next one I have is the Floral Rose. Really beautiful. Now, this one is much heavier than the Aquatic Peony because it has musk. So, the nights that I want to pretend is a man in my house that I done rubbed up on a little bit, I spray a little Floral Rose. I really put it in my bathroom. I kind of like the masculine smell with like the steam and the water. That's really where I use it. But obviously, you guys can use this on your bodies as well. And the best part about Dossier is that it's really affordable. Any scent that you get ranges between $29 and $59 compared to the designer luxury brands that they model their scents after, which can cost you up to $280. And what's really cool is that they take customer requests. So if you go on down to Rodeo Drive or a little Beverly Hills or a little Atlanta Mall where you pass like the Gucci's and all that, you smell something you like, you tell Dossier and they'll make it for something much more affordable. And they have a high input of customer feedback saying the scents seem just identical. So there's no complaints there. For all of my sustainability dolls, okay, cruelty-free, no harm to animals, vegan, they reduced their use of plastics. This is why it's only coming in this bottle, this glass bottle in that size, which if you do not like the scent, you can return for the full price, which is very convenient. And all new customers at Dossier receive 20% off. And if you combine that with my code, JustLatasha, you get an extra 10% off for a total of 30% off your first purchase. So I think that's fire. Let them know I sent you. You guys know what time it is. It's time to dissect. I got to see my hearts up in the chat. Okay. What up, Kay? Hey, Kezia. Hello. I see y'all. We're going to have a good time tonight. They put a lot in that play, huh? Lexi Duvernay. Lexi Duvernay, you know what I mean? The little girl hit that directorial debut, didn't she? Thank you so much. Oh, that's the one you like, the aromatic pineapple. Yes. Thank y'all so much for throwing hearts up in the chat and showing me some love. I really appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. So you guys know I'm diving in the chat. This is the Euphoria dissection. It is happening. It is going down. It happens every Monday night, 6 p.m. EST. We have one more until the end of season 2. We have absolutely one more to the end of season 2. So usually the last dissection of the month, which would be tonight, happens for my VIP patrons. But since next week is the season finale, I just thought it made more sense for my VIP patrons to join me on video to talk about the series in its entirety. I think that's much better. So if you're a VIP patron, I probably messaged you. Check your inboxes. Let me know if you're coming. Let me know if you're down. RSVP, because I want to know who's going to be in the room. I want to know who I'm talking to. All right. It's open. So I will see you guys next Monday after the season finale dissection. So that'll be 7 p.m. EST. So as we dive into tonight's dissection, I wanted to put anyone who is new here, anyone who's watching for the first time, put you onto the color theory, because these colors talk to each other and expand the story much more than what we're watching, right? So the color theory is as goes for Euphoria season 2 specifically because it's a completely off-kilter experience from season 1. Yellow is when the characters are totally in their truth and fully in their identity. Blue is when they're lying about something, fronting about something. They're wearing some sort of a mask, not being very honest. And what Sam Levinson has done in this writing and directing is kind of playing these religious, Catholic, Christian, biblical themes. So he's playing with the ideas of heaven and hell and how the characters float in between those two realms. So usually when you see Black, the characters are really experiencing their own versions of hell, which you'll see Nate, the demon himself, in Black most of the time. Or they float towards the color white, which means there's something heavenly, euphoric that they're experiencing going towards the light, right? And of course, when you see the color red, that could mean caution, danger, wounds, stop, halt. So we really want to perk up when we see the color red. What's happening? What's the issue? What's the conflict? What's the trouble? So what we're going to be talking in those conversations, and just to start off, okay, I really love the seamless transitions between real life and the play. Gorgeous, glorious. I like when TV is exciting. And I know people are like, this series is doing too much. We lost the plot. And that's cool. But I love when TV is exciting and not based in reality. Because you know why? It don't have to be. Let's play. Let's have a fantasy. Let's dive into a whole new world. I love it. I like that a lot. I like when TV does that. I also loved in this particular episode all of the nods to season 1. Did y'all see you know who in the audience? Zendaya, you brought your man. Is that Tom Holland? Y'all got some good eyes. Somebody on Twitter found that. I was like, now, how did you see that? How? It's been rumored for so long that he's been visiting her on set. I believe after they shot Spider-Man together and all of that, they're moving into a house together in London. You better pump out that quarter black baby, Z. I know that's right. But all of the nods to season 1, the Cassie and Maddie cheerleading, the Rue and Lexi Bob Ross joke, because we know that in season 1, Lexi dressed up as Bob Ross for Halloween, which she thought was really funny. So the fact that Rue and Fez teased her and made fun of her when she was high, and that was kind of a callback. I really love that. We saw Kitty Cat Dom make an appearance. I don't know why. Didn't quite talk about it. So let's talk about the questions that we have. Because shout out to this tweeter, Misery Elliott, funny ass name. QTNA, questions that need answers. Like, we just never going to talk about Elliot and Jules. We just like, we it's called the penultimate. We're in the second to last episode of the season. And where's Elliot been at? Like, where's he hanging out? Like, what's his deal? Where's he been? Where's Elliot been? Are we going to talk about it? I love the play. Wish we had like 3 more episodes to really like tie up all the loose ends. What about the suitcase with the drugs? Big question. Big question. Because Rue just left the house and where's Lori? Is the money coming? And Mink Kelly's character, who plays Samantha, gifting Maddie the dress she saw her wear on camera. Hello, we have so many questions. I just want to know. I absolutely just want to know. I would love to just maybe like a postcard from Cal. Just say, hey, doing well in California. We'll never see you again. Do and say something. Something, all right? I would have loved to see tonight as well, Kat react to Ethan not being boring. Because you was so bored, ma'am. And now he's the most exciting person we've ever seen. He was on fire. So I would love to see Kat maybe like second guess that a little bit. Let me go get that old thing, babe. Okay? But here's the thing about Kat, because sometimes when you're so terrorized inside, healthy, stability, loving places feel boring because they're calm. There's no drama or trauma. Like there's nothing wrong. So that may feel really boring and people want to stir up some mess just to get it exciting again. But if love is safe, yeah, I might be playing Monopoly down to the Friday. Like, you know what I mean? Like it might not feel it might not feel how we thought it was going to feel. I was trying to tell Sam he didn't want to listen to me. I know that's right, Kenya. You better tell them. On his back. Carried the show on his back. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Lin-Manuel could never. Don't do that. Even when Lexi and the stand-in Rue on top of that set up a Fez's store, Lexi was wearing another green sweater. Y'all already starting to dissect. We ain't even jump in yet. All right, I guess y'all ready to go. Here we go. Euphoria season 2 live show only here on patreon.com/JustLatasha. But of course, it's released to the general public every Thursday on the JustLatasha YouTube channel. The opening sequence, labeled as the overture. What is an overture for a play or an opera? It's the musical introduction, often dramatic, but it also operates as an independent instrumental work, standing sort of apart from the play itself, the overture. Where are we starting? That sort of launches the story that we're actually here to tell. And of course, that standalone piece would be the funeral for Rue's dad, which in this series launches the conflict of all the characters that we've been following, right? So Lexi at the funeral, she reads Rue a poem as Rue is getting high, right? And she doesn't say anything. So I'm going to show you guys this image on the left. That's Lexi at the funeral. She doesn't say anything. She allows Rue to use drugs and she's wearing black. Versus some time has passed. We move to Lexi in white, where she holds Rue accountable. I think you should stop using drugs. I had to dip back in a few episodes to find that. It wasn't in last night's episode, by the way. So Lexi's in white when she holds Rue accountable. I think you should stop using drugs. What are you going to do? Tell my mom? It doesn't work. But it was an attempt to steer her friend, her best friend, back on the right path. So let's break down these colors between black and white, hell and heaven. In black, in this hell, Lexi is coddling Rue by not saying anything, but it protects their friendship. It hurts Rue, but protects their friendship. Versus when she's in white, when she's in sort of this heavenly place, she helps Rue by holding her accountable, but it hurts their friendship. And that right there is the divide between the two. That right there is the divide between the two, because when we met Rue and Lexi as friends, Rue's terrible. You only popping in my house to come make me do a fake pee, and you cursing me out in a girl's bathroom, and you telling me to mind my business. Then you want to Bob Ross it up with me on Halloween when Jules is left town. Best friend, nothing. Okay, so right there we have the divide. So it makes me think of the title of this episode, The Theater and Its Double. Double is a word I'm going to be using a lot tonight. It's the theater and its double. All characters are doubled except Lexi. What is double for Lexi? Her point of view, her perspective. That serves as the double. Because Rue was Lexi's best friend, but Lexi absolutely not was Rue's best friend. What a divide. What a divide. And Lexi is such a beautiful character that she also offers light in darkness that provided Rue another perspective. It gave her another point of view, right? In the poem that she said for Rue, every bend may reveal a new landscape. You forgot the second half of that. The first half that you're quoting is negative. Let me add some light because you weren't finished. Every bend may reveal a new landscape. And as she continues the poem, she says, let this darkness be a bell tower and you the bell. We remember when Ali came over to serve dinner for the family, Rue has to find her own hope. Leave it up to Leslie, Rue's mama. I'm done. You go ahead and you do it. Rue has to be her own bell. We done went through the darkness with this several times. I'm broken. You've got to be your own bell. Hearing your mama say, I give up on you. Jesus. Jesus. Lexi and Rue's friendship will definitely fizzle the F out when they graduate if Rue lives long enough. Oh, that was cold, Khaled. Definitely not BFFs. Oh, man. Today, get out of here. Lexi Play also empathizes Rue to the audience as Rue has been stigmatized by everyone at their school, including Cassie, who has been saying Rue is a bad person and just a drug addict. Rue told us, like, y'all didn't know me. Y'all would just call me a crackhead and you'd be done. Absolutely. This is extending that humanness, right? And I'm definitely going to touch on that a little bit later. But Lexi does something as she's finishing the poem and she snaps that light out, right? Followed by the line, feel how your breathing makes more space around you. Rue breathes and expands as she enters her high. Put a pin in that. Feel how your breathing makes more space around you, and Rue breathes into expansion. Now, let's get into the sisters because Lexi had foot on next. Let's talk about doubles with Cassie and Lexi, okay? Now, Lexi wanted to be as desirable as Cassie, but she ain't got the goods, right? She ain't got the goods. And we see her here wearing that blue sweater because what was getting a little lost in the sauce, what was going like very subtly unnoticed, was that all the judgment and smoke Lexi had for her sister Cassie was really a cover-up, a mask for jealousy. Her boobs ain't coming in. She ain't gonna be hot in 433 days. It's not giving. It's not giving. And like Lexi, Cassie also lives in her head and her imagination to escape reality. So Lexi sits down and observes and daydreams all day because that's her safe space. But Cassie's romances are a mirage. You're literally only experiencing romance if you make it all up in your head. A little exchange and I fall in love. That's true for both of them. And it perked me up because I was like, I know how Nate's the mirage, but how is Fez the mirage? Is Lexi pulling a Cassie with Fez? Is she diving all head in first, not making sure it's secure, not making sure it's safe? One little bit of attention and we gone. We in love, watching movies together. Faz didn't even go fill it. Faz forgot all about his grandma's oxygen tank in the back because he out here with you. Oh, y'all in love, singing together and stuff. So I perked up a little bit and seeing just how different these sisters are, but also riding the same exact trauma and through line of their father, making them actually so similar. This through line is their father, his addiction to drugs, him leaving, determines how they engage in romance, how they engage in love, right? Cassie loves someone emotionally unavailable, and Lexi loves someone whose job may make them very unavailable. They can either die or go to jail. Both of those are so unstable. They're doing the same thing. They're both so unstable, right? So you have Cassie and Blue pretending everything's fine. Dad's going to drive us home. It's okay. She's wearing that mask to protect herself versus Lexi, who's like, this hurts and this sucks. She's in red. Much more logic based, much more reality based, but she got in that car. She got in the car. No one is wrong. No one is dangerous. Knowing you could get hurt. Knowing you can't trust him. She got in that car. Judge all you want, but you did the same thing your sister did. Your ditzy little aunt, you did the same thing. All that judging. And so I remember when their father was sneaking into their home in the late of the night, stealing items to go fuel his addiction to drugs and to go buy more drugs. And Cassie helped him, and she kept a secret, and she would open the door for him, and she would answer his texts at 2 a.m. She engaged her dad in secret. Versus when Lexi saw him in the middle of the night, she hid, she became recluse, she evaded the secret. And that's the exact way these two sisters go about life. They go about life in that exact way, right? Because Lexi, she pulls back, she recluse, she hides in the background, she observes, she disappears in life. But Cassie, oh, Sydney, you turned it last night. Sydney! Cassie disappears in love. She does not exist. She does not exist. And the light goes out. Will she be her bell tower? How are you going to find your way out of your own darkness? Will you be your own hope? And so if Cassie is so willing to disappear like that, I love being your secret. Tell me who to talk to. Tell me what to eat. Tell me what to wear. She turns into a doll for him, which makes the perfect partner for Nate. All the women that he engages are just objects. He wants you to be pretty and perfect. Y'all remember in season 1, Nate's introduction with Rue was the narrator saying what kind of girls he likes, and her list was long. He is so particular over the kind of girls he finds beautiful because they're just objects. They're not real people to him at all. Cassie, this is perfect. It's toxic, but this is exactly why it works, right? That beautiful moment of the ice cream being the physical wound representing Lexi's childhood trauma, and she carried it right here into adulthood. That ice cream carries right over. Because as she experienced the trauma of her father, who becomes her new loves? Your father, addicted to drugs, let you down and was emotionally unavailable and was not showing up for you the way he promised. So who did you find love? Who did you find love with? An addict and a dealer. You're not a writer if you can't drag yourself. You're not a writer if you can't drag. If you haven't dragged yourself, you're not a writer. I'm sorry. Because you need to be in tune like that. You need to know thyself like that before you can know others. Oh, God. I mean, the way Cassie does not exist, she's still cosplaying Maddie. It's stand up, Cassie! Stand up. It's terrible. Cassie's Carrie face at the end, that prom night horror blood soaked Carrie. Oh my gosh. I guess that was the crazy side. And she kept it to herself, didn't she? She keep it in secret. Nobody has time to dominate your ass, Cassie. Put your own clothes on, please. Y'all ain't got no grace for my girl. Nate is a sinister abuser, and he still continues to torment Maddie through Cassie by dressing her like that. Yeah. Because it's still, even when he's not engaging Maddie, it's about Maddie. It's about Maddie. He's Rue. So I think he does. He don't drag himself, maybe like today himself, but he's Rue. So we see how terrible she is, and this was him. So I'm gonna throw him a bone. I'm gonna throw him a bone. And like I was saying, yes, I adore how this play adores Rue. Because starting at the death of her father to launch this story could have been so triggering and so hurtful. And Lexi is judgmental. You know, Rue is an Aries, and I know Lexi's a Virgo. I be saying it about certain characters. I know Lexi's a Virgo, but this could have been so judgmental and so triggering. And the fact that Rue was so happy and so pleased and smiling and cheering and having a good time because she was affirmed. Lexi used this play to affirm Rue. Like us Virgos, we be judgmental, but we love you down. You know what I mean? I think that's why we know all your flaws, because we're going to be like, let's help you through this. Our service ass. We'd be like, peep, 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 drag, read. Hey, friend, you need help. Don't ask us to clean up our own mess. All of a sudden, I can't see. No idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? My stuff is messy? Let's actually change the subject. Let's not talk about it. I can't see. The Bodega scene, which you guys were mentioning as well, where Rue was the one who affirms Lexi, right? Telling her it's okay to just be who you are. You're fine just the way you are. Forget trying to be cool. You don't even have to do it, which is exactly what Fez gave her as well, which is why she would love them both, flaws and all. And so on top of the bodega, Lexi says to Rue, before high school, let's be different. And that rang a bell in my mind because I remember Rue constantly asking the question to several people in her life, do you wish I were different? Do you wish I were different? So for Lexi to say, hey, let's be different, and Rue having this insecurity with how people love her, do you wish I were different? It was beautiful to see Rue reject that for Lexi, allowing her to be herself, right? But as an addict, as developing this problem with herself, she can't bring herself to give herself that own strength, but she's going to have to find it. That's the journey that she's on. And this is why Rue is her bestie, right? You see her hanging out with her sister and her sister's friends, and they help her feel uncool. They confirm you're not cool, which sucks for anybody, versus a Rue and a Fez who wouldn't make her feel that way. So even though like Rue is unreliable and betrays her often, is that tiny little bit of hope. Just a mustard seed, as the Bible would say. A mustard seed of hope, which keeps Lexi soft on Rue, which I thought was beautiful. All right. Let me jump back into the chat before we move on. I want to see where we at, what we talking about. Wasn't this cute? Lexi's mama screaming at every turn. Wasn't that cute? First of all, Ethan playing her. Don't do your mama like that. Why you do your mama like that? And she do be acting like that. Hey, beauty queens, time for bed. Like she does go in. But the fact that her mama loved it, oh my gosh, I love that so much. I love that so much. Unconventional, but it might work. But it might work. Let's see what else y'all saying in here. Yes, I felt like the play was the gift of grace. And what was Lexi's name in the play? Grace, chef's kiss. Lexi's mama was everything in that audience. All she needed was a camcorder, and she'd be giving the mom from Mean Girls. Look, she'd be letting the girls drink in the house, is where it's safe. She'd be protecting them. She'd be supporting them, showing up for them. She'd be letting them wild out. You know what I mean? Most likely, there's a lot of parallel stories here. There's a lot of mirroring here, a lot of illusions and perspectives and POVs. So yes. Okay, so let's talk about Maddie. Let's talk about Maddie. Because Lexi putting on the play of what made Maddie and Cassie friends, the only person that ever saw Maddie's vulnerability when she put down that bad bitch armor, I'll call it. I'm not even going to call it a facade. I don't even think it's really a facade, but she uses it to hide that soft heart, right? The only person that ever saw Maddie's vulnerability was Cassie, and Cassie destroyed it. Destroyed it. I hope it was worth it, bitch. So in this idea of doubles and seeing different perspectives, we're really seeing Maddie as of late be hurt and disappointed and betrayed and soft. She's that baby soft crying to herself, right? And Maddie, who is becoming like this lovable character instead of like this bad raging bitch in our eyes, is doubling and mirroring that of Cassie, who shamed Lexi for not being a hot bad bitch in 433 days. Like, your titties ain't gonna grow. This is it for you. You're done. Maddie was like, you don't even gotta play the game. Cassie's like, you're whack for not being able to play the game. And Maddie's like, you don't even have to play the game. Stop caring. Who cares? So when I think of the fallout between Maddie and Cassie, and we first saw Maddie open the door, and Cassie was terrified. We assumed it was because she was going to get her ass beat. But Maddie never hit her. Had it been anybody else, Maddie would have thrown the fisticuffs. Maddie never hit Cassie. This is what Cassie was actually afraid of the entire time, hurting her. She hurt her best friend. That's what she was running from the entire time. And we remember specifically Lexi introducing Cassie in the play, coming down like an angel. Nah, that's who you are. That's who you are. Scared, hiding in the bathroom, doing dirt on your best friend. Face that. Face. Face that. Kenny, you out here swinging on everybody tonight. Take that ass whooping, Cassie. Don't run. Don't run. Stina says more of a sister to Lexi in that one moment than Cassie. Even though, Maddie was dressing up Lexi in something that wasn't herself. But that wasn't the point, right? It's like, play and have fun and try things on, but don't try to fit in. If this doesn't work, take it off. If it does, you discover something new. Like, you don't even got to play, but let me just be here with you, give you a little word, confirm you in a way, and let you know that you do life in the way that best suits you. Being a bad bitch suits me, but you don't have to wear me. You don't have to do that. You could just not play and decide what that is for you. That's a word. That is a word. I think she is, but this is how cancers act. I think people are trying to say she's a Pisces or an Aquarius or whatever. I feel like this is how cancers act. Like you got that hard shell on the outside, but when they love you or bond with you or when you are officially their people, all you get is that soft underbelly. You get that soft, delicious. You do that to any cancer sign. They be I wreck everything. But when they love you, they're like, why you do that to me? They saw. I'm glad they cleared up the age in the episode. We need to bring back the asylums because Cassie need a lobotomy. Oh, God. Yes, I noticed this too, and I was trying to find like the similarities, but similar to how Rue's two loves are drugs and jewels, and Lexi's two loves are Rue and Fez, and Maddie's two loves are Cassie and Nate. It's sort of this question of, do you chase your heaven or do you chase your hell? Which journey would you travel to get to your euphoria? So as we open in season 2, episode 1, when Maddie's open the door because she's trying to get to Nate. Now she's trying to get to her other love, open the door because she's trying to get to Cassie. And it mirrors Rue banging on that door, season 1, trying to get to those drugs, right? Jules left. Jules didn't kiss me back, or she doesn't like me or doesn't love me. I need those drugs. Give me my second love right now. Open the door. Go ahead, Callie. Yeah. Exactly that. Cassie was her family. She threw it away for a bum. Purr. Yeah. I love that it was Maddie's vulnerability that got to Cassie, not the ass-kicking Maddie that kept threatening. Yeah, Cassie's soft. She needs that little coddle friend. She needs that little, the yin to the yang, the little opposites attract. We like that, which is why Cassie trying to wear Maddie just looks crazy. Are you allowed to go to high school with autumn titties? Her walking down the hall in that pink top, y'all. I was like, and I don't want to be the old bitch talking about where's your hall pass. I don't want to do that to the girls, right? Like, have it. But if my old ass was in a high school, assistant principal, lunch lady, whomever, right? And I saw Cassie's titties walking down and she's all of 16, 17, I'd be like, I got a sweater in the back. You're here to learn history and math. Are you allowed to go to school with autumn titties? I feel like if Cassie got the mean girl side of Cassie, it probably would have fueled her more and made her more appealing to Nate in some way, shape, or form, even if she got her ass beat. What is like, seriously? No, ain't no dress code down there where they at. Cause I was like, the way she was walking down the hallway, I was like, who runs this place? Who's in charge here? Okay, y'all. We gotta have a hard conversation. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go there? Okay. In the idea of doubles and perspectives, we have to talk about Nate and Cal. And here's my hot take. Nate is enacting his childhood trauma, sharing the wound of his father. We saw his father, Cal, get wounded when Cal was in high school, being a wrestler who was suppressing his sexuality of being queer and gay. We see the blood in his mouth. versus Cal, who's in trouble for sleeping with Jules and hunting these Euphoria high school kids down and trying to protect Nate. Ashtray bashes him over the head, creating a physical wound to represent his emotional wound of never being able to live his own life, versus how that impacted his son, Nate. They have the scar in the same exact place, possibly for the similar reasons. We have these parallels between Nate's hypermasculinity and aggression, mirroring Cal's hypermasculinity when he was wrestling. They both doing that boys club violence, right? So I was going to say this last week, but I don't just want to like toss this idea into the ring. And also it's a very sensitive topic. So trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. We are talking about SA. We will be talking about SA. Okay? Trigger warning. In the last episode, and we saw that clip during Lexi's play when Cal laid on top of Nate. I didn't want to play that visually here. And we just moved past it. The story didn't even acknowledge it or address it. It was a quick moment. You might have missed it if you blink. Cal sexually laid on top of his own son, Nate. I was going to say this last week. Nate was speaking to his mother, and Nate tried to persuade her that because Cal is gone, so is his own anger, which we saw in that conversation wasn't true. Nate was still very angry and very on edge. And Martha says, when you were a child, you were so sweet. And then at 9, you went dark. I don't know what happened. And because the show didn't explicitly say anything, because the show kind of just played a visual clip, which we don't know was real or the play or surrealism, it didn't confirm anything. But the way Nate maneuvers his world based on his father, I assume from last week his father essayed Nate. The emotional detachment of his father's making this big show and big announcement as he was leaving. Aaron was okay and was like, what's going on? And Nate was so dark and detached. So what happened? What's different with Nate? Why did you go dark at 9 years old? And to see Cal lay on top of an adult Nate would imply that even as this grown man, all these years have passed, you are still that little boy and you got stuck. That moment kept you frozen in time. And everything you do stems from that moment. The same way with Rue. Her father dying kept her stuck in that moment. She won't move forward. Possibly for Cassie and Lexi with their dad being an addict and leaving. They're handling it in totally different ways, but that informs so much of what they're doing. And this is all very recent for Rue, Lexi, and Cassie. Their fathers acting up just 3 years ago. Well, Rue's dad didn't act up. He left. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So in the overture that set the tone for this play, that stood as an independent piece from the play, but would launch everyone else's conflicts, we started with everyone's trauma point. Rue at her father's funeral, Lexi's father leaving, Maddie's parents splitting, and then we had that clip of Nate and Cal. So what I imagine what we were watching in season 1 and now in season 2, and things are heightened, Nate was never trying to dominate Cal. He was trying to dominate what happened. And if he can fight his father, if he can conquer his father's lover, sexual conquest, Jules, that may lead Nate to believe that he can win this somehow. He can beat it. He can he doesn't have to face it, heal it, feel it. He can just win. It's not working. That anger is still there. So as Ethan has this big hero moment and the entire school is poking and laughing at Nate possibly being gay, I'm wondering what we're laughing at in this Incredible performance. What are we laughing at? Are we laughing at someone being outed? Are we laughing at someone actually being gay? Are we laughing at trauma we didn't know about? Because we are watching Nate kind of be gay. Your daddy was kind of gay, and wow, Ethan's great. But in Nate's brain, this is where my dad essayed me. So he's not watching what we're watching, which would serve as a double. I don't think Cal essayed Nate, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Cal often says Nate is his biggest disappointment and that he's a mystery. And I don't think he said that if he did touch Nate. I don't know a parent that would admit it. And we see how Nate gaslights all of his romantic interests. He's actively harming you while calling you crazy. So if your father essayed you, and he's like, what's wrong with you? You're like dark. You're a mister. I don't even understand. Cal won't even admit what his own problem is. Well, not to that big monologue, but it took Cal all this time to admit what his own problem was. He definitely wasn't admitting it at Nate's age. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. Nate has been exposed to sexualized violence from age 9. It affects how he sees his father, how he sees sex, and why he struggles with his sexuality. And I also kind of want to get away from in TV lands that becoming gay comes from trauma. We're kind of teetering the line on like making that a stereotype where it's like, what made you gay? Someone touched you wrong. So now you're questioning yourself. Niggas be gay. And a lot of sexual assault happens for gay people. Like all of that exists and like intertwines. But it gets real when we on TV and we talking to a lot of people at once. It gets a real fine line with these storylines where like gay people are being bullied in high school, and then the bullies come out as gay, and then the gay person dates the bully, or something dark happened, and now this person is like sexually confused. Like it's getting real close. We gotta be precise. If we're gonna shoot, we gotta shoot, but we gotta be precise. Gotta be precise. It also reminded me of the scene of the first episode of the season where he was all up on McKay when he was talking about Cassie. Someone else who was, I think McKay, it's been spoken about that McKay, what happened to McKay at his college was also SA, which we unfortunately didn't get with this season. We didn't get to button that up because the actor don't want to get vaccinated, his choice, but we lost the storyline. He lost the bag. Just take, just get vaccinated. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, very unfortunate missed opportunity. I thought it was because that was the time Nate first saw his father's recordings. Did he see him at 9? I think that was the age when Nate found the tapes. And from then on, he had this new view of his father. I feel like being exposed to his father's wound and subsequently his collection has traumatized him. Here's why I'm leaning for SA. Because that kind of unexplained rage and withdrawal and like social withdrawal, emotional withdrawal, that emotional imbalance, I feel like that's deeper than discovering your father's sexual exploits. It's something happening inside of you that's coming from somewhere. And I feel that way because this was precisely the storyline of Eve's Bayou, which I dissected here on the channel as well. And the theme of Eve's Bayou is memory. What do you remember? Journey Smollett's character was a baby girl, and she's the narrator as an adult, and she's trying to recall a summer with her family down at the bayou. and she's having a hard time remembering what happened. So in her memory's eye, her sister was trying to be grown one summer, tried to kiss dad, and then her sister got weird. She wasn't bright no more. She wasn't joking no more. She wasn't smiling no more. She didn't speak. She didn't leave her room. And she remembered that her sister suddenly got her period one day. So that's why she was acting weird. But her sister remembers that daddy SA'd her, which would explain the blood in the panties, which was not her period. And if something like that happens to a child, their entire personalities change. Just from my research, just from listening to stories of victims, just to seeing the psychological patterns, I'm wondering why Sam would put a clip of Cal laying on Nate's back. And I get visually, it was blending in with like all of Nate's lovers, right? It went from Maddie, who turned into Jules, who turned into Cassie. And then Cal was kind of in there because we know Nate is trying so hard not to be like his father, but literally setting up his life exactly like his father. But that little clip of Cal laying on Nate to see how Nate turned dark at 9. I don't think any person is that angry for that long because his father was having sex on tape. I don't personally buy it. That's just me. That's just me. And if the light goes out, will you be your own bell? Who gives you hope? Are you going to save yourself? Who turns the light on for the Bell House? Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's not the vaccination. So the vaccination thing is false. Both HBO and McKay's actor said that Sam wrote off McKay's character before he covered it or something like that. Okay. That sucks because I love the twins and I liked McKay. We sacrificed a lot for this storyline, Sam. We sacrificed a lot. We swinging out here. Not saying that can't be the reason. I need Sam to confirm or deny so we can move forward with this thing respectfully. I'm with you on this. Nate is terrible. I really can't find anything that would have to happen to him for me to soften up on him. He really is a demon. He could choke. For anyone who's ever experienced this, I am so deeply sorry. Okay, let's move on to Maddie, who receives this gift, which is red, that beautiful big red ribbon, after we saw Nate and Cal. And we remember, I have here on the left side of the screen how Nate watched Nate watched Maddie get undressed. We see him here in the mirror, that secret spy eye, versus Samantha gifting Maddie that purple dress that she tried on in the closet in episode 2. We remember that there was a camera in the clock in that closet. So as Nate was watching Maddie get undressed without her knowing, I believe Samantha was watching Maddie get undressed without her knowing. Because how did you know she liked the purple dress? And I think we was feeling the vibes a little bit when they was in a pool together and you asking her to stay late and you want to chat and talk. It's something uneasy here for me. Is something uneasy here for me. You gave her the dress from episode 2 and we watched Maddie rush to get dressed to not let Samantha know she was trying on clothes. So how you knew she liked that dress? And then I think about when Nate came here to terrorize Maddie, he said, why do you think my dad likes to film himself effing? He's filming it. Cassie, oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep doing this. Maddie sort of becomes the prey. It feels like in both situations, and both are acting like they're this gift to her. I'm scared, y'all. It's getting weird. I'm trying to figure out what this lady's motive is because it's weird. Yes, Xylan, this is so. But you know what? If we're going to talk about it, I'm glad they're showing women too, because women be predators. Women are also predators, dog. Like, and Samantha to me has been crossing the line, been teetering the line. There's no reason why you hanging out with a 17-year-old drinking at your house 11 p.m. midnight. Nah. Mm-mm. 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 Yeah, something's off. Something's off. When Maddie and Minka were talking, was Maddie talking about moving away for school, and that's why the little boy would be sad? I missed that conversation. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I saw it, but I ain't see it. Oh my God, we are wrapping up on the hour. We are wrapping up on the hour. Whatever the motive is, I hope we don't have to wait 2 years for the next season to find out. I hope so as well. Like, let's solve these storylines, please, Sam. Please. So, what we put a pin in earlier in Lexi's poem, feel how your breathing makes more space around you. And that was true for Rue as she slipped into her high, where her breathing allowed her to expand. It gave her more space versus Cassie. Breathing like the dragon's fire, so close on that door, encaged, enclosed. Even though she's breathing, it feels like she is suffocating. Look at the freedom Lexi has. Look at the trap Cassie has. Lexi's in front of the cage. Cassie is quite literally behind it, right? We have to think about what Fez called the quandary. What if people mistake your good intentions for being cruel? What did the observer say with this play? Did she say anything? Was this play the signal to everyone involved, including herself, to be their own bell tower to save themselves? And I saw this play, Lexi was pondering about whether or not this is going to upset people. What's your intention? What do you want them to feel? Maybe you shouldn't invite them. And the way she fears putting this play on, showing her friends what they look like. I feel like TV does this to a lot of people. Like, you see something that's so uncomfortable, feels too close to home, you don't like it, so we drag the show and we Are you mad at the play, or are you scared to be your own bell tower? I just be throwing that in the ring because it sounds cool. Are you mad at the play, or are you mad because you saw yourself? You felt that feeling that you was trying to run from. Real quick before we get out of here. Now, I told y'all last week I don't like Miss Girl. I told y'all this last week. Wearing that blue lion in this hellish black of the night, moving behind Ashtray's back. But they might have saved her this week. They might have saved her, because in the polar opposite from that blue and black to this yellow and white, will she be honest? Will she be heavenly? Will she save Fez? This time moving behind her own boyfriend's back. She still has a reflection, but this time she switched sides. She switched sides, quite literally the opposite. We saw really quick in next week's preview, Fez is on the ground, didn't make it to the play, blood on the note to Lexi, mouthful of blood. I estimate that he's not gonna die. But it's probably like a really violent, nasty arrest. I also am thinking we made it out of the woods with Gia being harmed in some way, but also they're not answering the question about Lori needing her money back, and we got one episode left. I think we may make it out of the woods on that one, but we really we don't even have the time to find out, do we? So We don't even have the time. So I hope G is okay. I think we might make it. It might just be this big arrest bust, and maybe we got to bail Fez out next season. Who knows? But we'll see. One episode left. Lexi want to portray herself as a saint in the play, but creating toxic environment backstage. Oh, doubles. She better watch out before she gets canceled on Twitter for this 10 years from now when she's a director. Oh, Lexi talks. She was hell. You understand? Under the stage spotlight, where she is this angelic saint observing the world backstage, she is hell. But let me tell you something. When you got to be a boss, you don't have to be abusive. Let that be known. You do not have to be abusive. But when you got to be a boss, especially for the girls, that's why a lot of people hate Euphoria in general. They either see themselves or think that they are uncomfortable confronting even at a distance. Now, look, I'm one of them that taps out when I don't like something on TV. But I've always said I don't go off unless you're doing something like stereotypical, racial, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, harmful. If I don't like it just because I'm uncomfortable, I just turn it off. I don't go dragging the show, calling it out. Don't watch what you don't like. It's your choice. Talking about Faye. Exactly. Faye is a damn rat. She needs to. I cannot with y'all. What? She needs to flap them damn flippers. I'm not. No. Faye is pissing me off. If she don't say something, it's gonna take her too long to get it out anyway. We all lose. We all lose. Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys. We made it. This was another dissection. I'm going to dive into some more comments before I log out for the night. Ash looking at her boyfriend like, you breathe one more time in my house, I'll make sure it's your last. Ashtray, if anything happens to Fez, you can come stay with me. Because the first time it was a bottle, next time it's a bat, then he got a knife in his... He's going to juke anybody that get in his way. And I'm like, may I feed you a bowl of SpaghettiOs? Because we've been waiting for gangsters like you. I'm waiting for you at the door. When we say protection, this is what we talking about. Nah, I can't have nobody in my house stabbing everybody. I don't want to be moving bodies every Friday night because he got a short temper. Real talk, I would be mad at Lexi for putting my life on that stage. I also wouldn't like that. I don't want to know what you think about my dating life. I confirm it is a mess. Don't do that. Don't do it to me. Do not do it to me. Hey, Christine. I think this play may help Rue in the long run. See how happy she used to be pre-drug use. Yeah, and see all the hope and the people that she has in her corner. She has so many people in her corner. And her mother, Leslie, who was saying, I give up. If I lose one daughter, it ain't going to be Gia. I'm only saving her. You on your own. If you want to do it, do it. But she was in that blue blanket. Because I tried to support you. I tried to love you. I tried to help you. I tried to rehab you. I had to wash your butt. I tried to do everything. So let's try reverse psychology. Let's see if you feel like you lose your support system. Maybe you feel comfortable because you know I will always be here for you. So let me take myself out and let's see some reverse psychology and see if you're going to save yourself. Because now I'm telling you, you don't have me. May not be true. You know it's not true. That's your mama. But maybe she can shake you and put you back into position so you really get to know that you have to take care of yourself. Find it. Find it. Oh, y'all are so crazy. Okay, I'm out of here because y'all don't know how to act. Y'all don't know how to act. She is tap dancing on Tyler Perry's neck through this writing and production. Yeah, I gotta go. Thank y'all for being here. We are back next week with the Euphoria season finale dissection live Monday, 6 p.m. EST. My VIP patrons, I DM'd you. Please check your DMs on Patreon. I want to know if you guys are joining me for the VIP post show following the dissection at 7 p.m. EST to broadcast to YouTube. Let's talk about this entire season. Let's wrap up our own storylines. If Sam ain't gonna answer nothing, let's solve this McKay debacle. Let's do it all, okay, together as a family, because that's what we are. All right. I love you. I thank you so much. Shout out to Dossier. Thank you so much. Go out and get those products using the code JustLatasha for 10% off. Hearts in the chat. Yeah. Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all. Yes, thank you so much. See y'all.